morning, everyone. Let me set the stage for our U.S. launch. In 2000, the industry was on track to set new sales records. The market was dominated by trucks and SUVs. Gasoline prices were down to a record low, 99 cents a gallon. Cars were doing well, but the focus was on utility. The economy was still strong, but the full effect of the dot-com implosion was still an unknown. Toyota was a strong performer, but still known primarily for high-quality cars on the verge of breaking through with several new vehicles. Concern for the environment had grown over the years, but focus groups taught us that it was critical that consumers not be personally inconvenienced. Early research identified psychographic profiles that we felt would be key to generating enthusiasm for the Prius. Those who considered themselves environmentally friendly and tech pioneers. The challenge was they made up only 10% of the general population and were diverse in age, income, gender, and background. The Prius provided Toyota with a wide range of opportunities. It allowed us to broaden our image beyond Toyota's traditional attributes of quality, dependability, and reliability. The Prius represented a practical way of lowering the environmental impact of the automobile. It was also an opportunity to build consumer demand for an all-new and relevant technology. The big challenge was, in fact, gaining public acceptance. We also had to gain widespread dealer participation and support for hybrid sales and marketing. Traditionally, when we launch a vehicle such as the Camry, we look at the overall market and the segment in which the vehicle competes. We identify a number of data points. We compile all of this information into a target buyer and message to reach that buyer. None of this information existed for a hybrid vehicle. We had no data because this was a new technology and an all-new category. So launch development for the Prius started at a much more elementary level. We had the vehicle and needed to determine who would want it and how to reach them. The reality was that consumers didn't know they wanted it. We had to create demand and a new market. Our conclusion was that we had to come up with new methods to launch and sell Prius. Education and awareness were critical to our pre-launch efforts. You could say that these activities in the U.S. began in December 1997 with Electric Vehicle Symposium 14 in Orlando, Florida, where we debuted a right-hand drive Prius. From there, we did a summer tour and early test drives in 1998 through early 2000. We focused on media events all over the country, including Earth Day, before automakers took it seriously. We averaged over 150 grassroots, high-tech events and environmental events, educational outreach activities annually through this period. Prius was met with great enthusiasm. I think I can sum it up from an editor of Wired magazine. This thing is going to change the world. Okay? In 1999, we were using prototype vehicles for test drives and events, but we couldn't use them in advertising because they weren't product correct. So instead of featuring the vehicle, we used a Leaf car logo in nationwide teaser print campaigns to highlight Toyota's technology. Prius also gave us the opportunity to connect with celebrities and influencers very early. Our Prius was featured in the hit show Curb Your Enthusiasm. Here's the background on that. Larry David's producer contacted me and asked if he could borrow one of the Priuses for an early episode. I lent it to him after having him sign a one-page insurance waiver. Larry liked the vehicle so much that his producer asked if he could borrow the vehicle for the rest of the year so he could write it into the script for the entire season. I agreed, so long as he took good care not to damage the vehicle because it was one of only 5 in the United States. I mention this because it was the first time that Hollywood came to us to borrow the Prius, which later became a trend. That surprised us. As I mentioned earlier, we didn't have any data for this vehicle, so we had to talk to the general public. We hosted a contest in April 1999. people had to go online and submit an essay on why they wanted to drive the Prius. We placed Prius with 5 families in select cities for a month and then conducted in-depth interviews about the technology, attitudes, and usage. The demo program was a way to conduct primary test research that helped us gain crucial insights on consumers and the product, increase awareness and media attention in key markets for the retail launch, and provided a source of leads, over 8,000 applicants from the demo program, for Prius presale activities. Based on our research learning, we determined the most effective way to get to Prius buyers was through the internet. We were one of the first in the auto industry to use an integrated digital ordering and shopping strategy. To start, we led buyers to the Prius mini site within Toyota.com. There, they could learn more about the vehicle and place a purchase request through the site. It was a unique model to sell a vehicle to a sophisticated and intelligent buyer. It was a natural extension from learning about the vehicle to buying the vehicle. For Toyota, it was the first time we utilized an internet method in a sales platform. We had to make adjustments to make the process work. For example, stripping out all the options except for exterior vehicle color, offering one price and one lease nationwide. The site directed consumers to dealerships to finalize their transaction via email or phone. The vehicles were built when the order was finalized and received by Toyota headquarters. This was also the first time we utilized live chat support. The web strategy was very successful in matching production to demand. With Prius, we knew precisely where the actual demand was because distribution was based on actual customer orders through the net. So we eliminated many inefficiencies. The web strategy allowed for much needed exposure to the Prius target buyer. More importantly, the internet created a platform where we could engage directly with the potential buyers through chat, surveys, and email communication, and create the Prius community that still exists today. With the launch of new technology, Toyota designed and implemented new customer support programs to provide a concern-free image. It was a priority for the company to ensure that the technology did not get a black eye or tarnish Toyota's reputation for quality. A strong lease was created to reduce consumer fears about product obsolescence and to communicate affordability. Strong warranties were designed, including an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the battery and hybrid componentry. Customers were protected by 3-year complimentary maintenance and roadside assistance programs. Also, participating dealers met stringent requirements to sell and service Prius. To assure quality control and provide test drives to Prius at participating dealerships, over 1,000 units were placed in dealer demo prior to retail deliveries. Our consumer communication was to build awareness and generate interest in test drives for the vehicle. As mentioned earlier, the Prius launch was not a demographically driven launch. We targeted attitudes and beliefs. Our strategic alliances with health, environmental, and technology groups provided us with new source leads and enhanced our credibility. These alliances also provided us access to more interested parties, leading to an initial mailing list of over 43,000 hand raisers prior to launch. We had an integrated media campaign featuring Prius Genius to convey the intelligence of Prius and the innovation of Toyota. However, we canceled our media flights after the initial launch period because we had a backlog of orders that took us through the following year. The launch of first-gen Prius was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It created new brand image attributes in environmental leadership. It created new brand attributes in technology innovation. It developed a community connector. It supported building relationships with customers through the internet and provided an opportunity to build upon success with future launches. Looking back, this was a pretty amazing experience. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce my boss, Ed LaRocque, National Brand Manager for Advanced Technology Vehicles, who will take us to present day.